Hello, this is Joe83, and this is round 7 of AOR this season. We're here for the big one. It is the Monaco Grand Prix, and it's a circuit that I really did want to win at. Obviously, I won here in the past a very long time ago in like F1 2016, but yeah, haven't won or even done that well here for a long time. But the most important thing is just to get a clean race, avoid any damage, any crashes, and hopefully finish somewhere near the front. And you probably noticed already, but unfortunately my recording software messed up this week, and I've got these stupid overlays on my screen which I couldn't get rid of in post, so you'll have to just deal with them. Unfortunately the minimap is pretty much covered up, so it shouldn't be too important, and the stay connected stuff at the bottom is a bit annoying. But if you do want to follow me on Twitter, then go ahead and do that at Jamie_183. But yeah, nevertheless, on to qualifying for Monaco, and it's a 10-0 for the first lap, which is a reasonable banker. Obviously my PB was a 9-1, but if I get near that I'd be very happy. Mid-9 would be something I'd realistically aim for in an actual session, because obviously it's so much more intense trying to do it when the walls are there and you don't really want to get damaged. And coming through the Casino Square section, that's exactly what I've done here, and yeah, lost the front wing, so that's that run over with, unfortunately. So that's left me, I'm currently P2 actually. Daigoro was incredibly quick, so I'd be surprised if I managed to beat him. Coming onto this lap as well, into turn 1, and we've absolutely cut it into next week, and unfortunately that's another lap over with. So yeah, running out of time here, and this is pretty much, yeah, it's my last lap in quali. I'm not going to get time to do another lap unless I back off straight away with fuel and everything. But coming through turn 1, pretty decent there up the hill, obviously fully flat out into Casino Square, trying to brake just after that sign on the right, and 4th gear keeping nice and narrow to the wall, and 3rd for this next part, not really hitting the apex very well there, but into the Massenet corner, if I can remember the right names, down to 2nd gear for the Lowe's hairpin. 1st gear, obviously try and mount that curve nicely. We've done it pretty well there actually. Take a nice bit of speed through there and through this next section on the curve again, and then into the exit into Portier. A little bit too close to the barrier there, had to back out, turning a bit too early, but 2 tenths up, so it should be a 9 if I don't mess it up in the second half of the lap. And coming into Nova chicane now, braking about 70 meters, 2nd gear, trying to take as much curve as possible. Obviously with it being the end of the session, I don't push too hard, but a little bit oversteer and exit. I don't want to invalidate my lap at this stage because it'd be pretty tragic if I'm only starting 4th. But purple sector 2 actually, which I don't think is actually true, but 4th gear for this next section, really committed through there, high speed. Not the best line ever, but yeah, just wanted to get the lap done, to be honest. 1st gear for Raskas and through the Antino's corner. 2nd gear, trying to get a nice exit, and it's going to be a 3/10 improvement. That lap flew by, really, but it's going to be a 9.7, which I can quite happily take. Scotty, actually, who I believe is on the pad, I'm not entirely sure, but he actually went 2nd place, and Daigoro there on pole by almost a second. It was a 1,000th away from getting pole by a second, so yeah, 3rd place for me. I can definitely take that. I'm happy to be ahead of Bigsy and Ruben, definitely. And the field spread is probably going to be quite big, as there's quite a big gulf in performance, especially at a track like Monaco. And interestingly, I decided to elect to run 33.5 laps of fuel, which is 5.5 laps under. So yeah, onto the 5 lights now for the Monaco Grand Prix. Very light cars, so we should get off to a good start here. And it's lights out, and there we go, and it's a very good start because my lights went out early again. So yeah, very annoying thing there. I've got to back off straight away, and Bixie's going to go flying up the inside of all of us, cut the corner, and move up into 2nd place from 5th on the grid. So yeah, unfortunately, I think I probably would have got Scotty had I actually got a normal start, but unfortunately with the lag start, it just means that you can't go for anything, which is the most annoying thing to happen at Monaco, because like the start is your best opportunity to make overtakes. Unfortunately, I've just had the opportunity robbed by the game being really bad. So yeah, down into 4th off the start because Bigsy didn't bother with turn 1 and decided to just take 3 positions straight away. He did get a good start, but yeah, I don't know. The 3 positions gained was a bit dodgy, but anyway, you see on lap 4 now, Daigoro is absolutely gone. But Bigsy is training us up a little bit. Obviously, nothing really doing in terms of overtakes, as it's so hard to make anything happen without a mistake, and none of us have made any big mistakes yet, but I'm pretty much pushing Scotty around here. And I believe that in terms of race pace, I am faster than both of these drivers, or at least like as quick. So if I can make something happen on strategy, I will definitely try it, because I don't want to sit in 4th full race, and I think track position around here is so important that if I can catch them off guard with undercut, then I reckon I'll get the track position on an undercut, to be honest, and just hold it from there. But yeah, onto the no chicane here. Just the only thing I was focusing mostly on was not making mistakes at this point, really. I knew I had the pace to stay with the 2 in front of me, so just, yeah, not making mistakes, not getting damage, no corner cutting penalties or anything. But lap 7 now, the pit window was lap 11 from the softs and mediums, or you could pit for hards around lap 5, but I decided to go in the middle almost and just sort of, yeah, risk it and pit now. So I'm into the pit lane for the medium tyres actually, which is about 4 laps earlier than ideal. But hopefully, I don't really want to go for hards because I didn't know if the undercut would be very good, but yeah, with a bit of luck, I'll get to the end fine. I did another league race in WR on the Wednesday before this, and my mediums were absolutely fine on tyre wear, so it should be okay. And despite going 4 laps longer, I should still get to the end quite comfortably. But luckily, the other two in front of me did not pit, so that means I've got an undercut now. So if I can just nail this lap, or even get a decent lap here, we should be well within the touching distance of beating the other two out of the pit lane. But nowhere near the apex of the swimming pool chicane there. But nevertheless, into the Rascas corner, first gear, and you can see Bigsy is in the pits, who was 2 positions ahead of me. He was second place before the stops. And I've done a pretty decent lap. Unfortunately, you can't see the mini-map because of the border, the overlay, but Bigsy has been overtaken by me. The undercut has worked really well, actually. So I was about a second behind, and now it's about a second and a half, the gap from me to him. So I'm up into a net second place. So the gap's sort of improved. I'm up to 2.5 seconds now. So what I was saying about my pace, I think it definitely is pretty decent. And you can see Scotty actually fell away massively. I think by the time it was lap 11, which is the actual pit window, he was only about 6 seconds clear, so I'm going to easily be ahead of him and up into an actual net second place. And Igora, you can see, is 5 seconds clear already. So, yeah, very good pace from him, and he's not making any mistakes, or doesn't look to be making any mistakes. We've got Jack L, who hasn't stopped yet, the only car left ahead of me, so he actually went very wide there into the Casino Square section. But, yeah, caught up to the back of him now on lap 13, and Bigsy still 2.5 seconds behind. But I really need to clear Jack out so quickly here because Bigsy is going to be closing all the time. And yeah, I can't afford to have him right behind me because I know he's quite a difficult driver to hold behind. So I need to clear Jack out as soon as possible. And into the tunnel is definitely a good opportunity to do that. So putting it up into overtake mode, rich mix. You don't really use fuel around here, so using a bit of rich is fine. And down the inside into Noah chicane. I think he might have lifted off there because it was a bit too easy, really. But nevertheless, we've got past him and up into actual second place now. And Jack L has to drop back into third, but he hasn't stopped yet, so it's not really his battle for now. And through the second sector here, trying to pull away, and you can see Bigsy, the gap was pretty much sustaining at about 1.5 seconds, so pretty comfortable, really. Like, no real pressure. Obviously, you've got to be right on top of someone to actually even think about going for an overtake here. So, yeah, I was quite happy with the gap at the minute. You can see behind him, Ruben is 12 seconds back. So, not much pressure from anywhere other than Bigsy at the minute. And Daigoro is absolutely gone. He's almost got a pit stop window on us both. And then 1 lap later, try and make no mistakes still. And into the swimming pool section. That's exactly what I've done. And I've made my life a little bit harder by dinking the front wing and getting a bit of damage, which is a bit of a problem as, yeah, my understeer is going to be horrific now. And Bigsy is already close in about a second since that mistake. Yeah, so it's going to be quite hard to keep him behind. But 1 lap later, or maybe 2 laps later actually, yeah, he's pushing me pretty much around these corners, and my apex speed is so much lower now because of his front wing that he's going to definitely have a chance if it carries on like this. And through the Casino Square section, this is definitely one of the places it's going to be difficult. But luckily, well, potentially luckily for me, a safety car has been deployed. So yeah, Bigsy now can't overtake me, luckily, but I'm going to definitely opt to pit, as I shouldn't lose a place other than the place to Bigsy, but he'll probably pit as well. And yeah, if I was to stay out, I would have still been in second place on dead tyres, and everyone else would have softs. So I just thought it was worth pitting, put on a set of soft tyres, change the front wing, and I will lose a place to Bigsy, but I actually knew from earlier in the race that he already has 6 seconds of time penalties, and I don't even have a warning yet. So yeah, I'm pretty much, unless loads of mistakes start happening, I'm going to have 0 seconds of penalties, which is absolutely perfect, especially a place like Monaco. And we saw from the first stint, I should be able to stay with Bigsy quite easily. So hopefully, soft tyres to the end. Ruben stayed out, but actually pit later, so it's going to still be third place. As everyone else is a well back. So yeah, it's going to be up into third, and you can see on the restart here, everyone's going so slowly. We've got Daigoro still leading, we've got Juan Mita and the Giant just behind, who are both lapped, and then it's Bigsy and myself in second and third place, and all the train is right with us now. So all the gaps that emerged didn't really matter. It's 8 lap sprint to the end of the race, and hopefully we could keep the pressure on Bigsy. I don't think Daigoro is going to ever be possible to overtake because he's already like 2 seconds clear with the gaps from the laps cars he got, and he's going to pull away anyway. It's turn 1, trying to keep it just clean, no penalties or anything, and the Giant does nicely get out the way there, and so does Juan Mita. So yeah, the podium definitely looks possible. Second place definitely looks possible. The win is slightly out of the question, as you can see, lap 34 now. Daigoro is 8 seconds clear, but Bigsy is going a little bit slowly here. I definitely was able to stay with him quite comfortably, and yeah, potentially close enough removed. But the thing is with Monaco, especially when you know they have penalties, there's really no point going for anything too risky, especially when you do mistakes like that. It's almost in a wall and just about managed to hold it. That's going to put Ruben all over the back of me and into Casino Square. He's going to go up the inside. I've got to leave him a bit of space, but with the track position advantage, that allows me to just about stay ahead. But a little mistakes like that is not what you need for confidence at this stage of the race with only 4 laps to go. But yeah, just about managed to recover it and stay ahead. And still within a second of Big C, and actually through Casino Square, that's a bit of damage I think he got on the left-hand side there. So he's gonna be in the same position I was at the first half of the race, with a bit of front wing damage, with only 3 laps to go, or 2.5 laps to go now. But he's gonna be going so slowly now, and I'm really just pushing him around the track. But as I said, I really don't need to go for a move. The last thing I want to do is like go for a risky move and end up in a wall, because he's got 6 seconds of penalties, I've got none. All I need to do is stay with him, and I'll be in second place. Obviously, the win is not possible, but we're very close here. He's going to go defensive. I'll put his car very intelligently, place his car there, and unfortunately, nothing doing into the Novar chicane. And through this last sector, it's going to be so difficult now because I'm just pushing him around the corners. His understeer is going to get worse and worse as the tyres start wearing as well. And now coming on to the final lap of the race, braking so early into Raskas. And you can see I've got a lot of pressure from behind with Ruben and Scotty as well. So as well as attacking Bigsy, I've got to be careful of the drivers behind me. And now opening DRS, overtake mode, trying to swing to the outside. He's going to go defensive, which basically makes it impossible to go for a move into turn 1. I tried to go for a switch track, but unfortunately he placed his car very, very well once again and didn't allow me to go for a move. But I think he might be lifting off here. I don't know what he's trying, but either way my slipstream was very good, and Ruben's trying up the inside again, but I'm just pushing Big C through these corners, and it was so difficult. Obviously if I had penalties it would have been a different story because I would have tried something, but there was really no need. All I was trying to do was get to the end as safely as possible, but Daikoro is just romping away. So I think the gap was about 8 or 9 seconds until Bigsy got his damage, and it's already like increased by about 10 seconds in about 2 laps. So Bigsy is going so slowly now, and into the tunnel a little bit too far back. My exit wasn't great. We've got Ruben closer to me if anything, but into the tunnel nothing really going to be happening, and braking pretty early to make sure not to get damage. And Ruben's going to try, well, I don't think he meant to try the inside there, but I had to leave him a bit of space. I didn't want to put him in a wall. And that's going to allow Bigsy to get a second clear now. So yeah, definitely not going to be making a move on track. But Daigoro has already won the race, and coming through the final sector now, we've closed up that second almost again because Bigsy has got such a little front wing remaining. But into Raskas, he's going so slowly, trying to take a nice little switchback line, but nothing doing. No point going for a risky overtake, and round the final corner, Bigsy is going to come across the finish line to finish second place, but unfortunately for him, I'm going to be raised into that P2 and Ruben into third actually. But then in a few seconds, Jack L came out of nowhere. I think he was about 7th place and ended up on the podium, so very well done to him. I think his first podium of the season. For me, I can happily take that. Daigoro was in a league of his own completely, so second place is the best I could have got, and I got it. So, and I also got no warning the entire race, which is unbelievable stuff. So very happy with that. And you can see the penalty situation. There were quite a few penalties actually, and my strategy there, absolutely 0 warning, as you can see. And Jack L managed to get no penalties as well, so well done to him. Yeah, he did get 1 warning though, so not quite as good as me. But you can see Ruben and Bigsy in the top 5, and the points being rounded out. Riley disconnected straight away, as you would expect. And Daigoro got the fastest lap points, nothing there for me. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. This was JOA3, and I will see you next time.